So a life, the universe and everything idea now. Perfect imperfection. All of creation depends on a level of imperfection. Stephen Hawkins told you in his lectures that after the Big Bang, if all of matter was spread out throughout the universe evenly, then no life would exist, because all the energies would have balanced and no attraction would have happened. So matter wouldn't have clumped together and created planets and created systems and created life. Likewise, the concept of a deitic God that is perfect is nonsense, because if God was perfect and didn't need anything, there wouldn't have needed to be an expansion, a creation of other to inspect itself. As above, so below. If all of creation is only able to exist because of its inbuilt perfect imperfection, then God itself, as above, so below, whatever God is to you, must also be perfectly imperfect. If you believe the idea that all of existence was created in one moment, and that there are multiverses, and consciousness as the core, the expression of that creator, exists within all of those multiverses, and each one of our lives is that our own point of focus of that consciousness, selecting a path through all the different frames of that existence, possible existence. So the idea is that the whole of creation, all the multiverses, everything that can happen has happened, but it all happens now. So every frame is stationary, and the reason you think you have a life that is mobile and active is because your consciousness is moving between those frames, like the frames in a film creates movement in a film. Even there, the idea is, though, that the universe is still expanding. For all that the idea is stated as everything that can happen has happened. If that was true, then there wouldn't be expansion in the universe. So again, it's that slight imperfection in our consciousness, in our way of being, that allows for an outcome that hasn't been foreseen, and therefore creates expansion in the universe. If you take the idea of the quantum field of potential, and that existence actually happens when any consciousness, you, me, the rocks under my feet, become aware of themselves, and in that instance, whenever you're aware of yourself, you collapse reality out of non-matter into matter to create your world. But there's inbuilt imperfection in everything, and instability. So things are only maintained when your consciousness is paying attention. And when it isn't, then that energy depletes and degrades and goes back into non-matter. All these ideas are fascinating. Nobody can tell you which is right. But if you understand this idea of perfect imperfection, then it does warn you to be very careful of a few things. Be careful of anyone who tells you their God is perfect, or that in fact that anything in life is perfect. Nothing is. And in fact you wouldn't want it to be. If there wasn't a slight imperfection in every cell in your body, in every cell, in every living thing on the planet, then you'd have stasis. There would be no evolution, no continued creation. It is the slight differences in the copying of cells that allow for mutation and change, both beneficial and less than beneficial, or apparently less than beneficial. It's arguable whether anything is a waste of energy or not ultimately constructive. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so beware of anybody who professes that their God is perfect. There's no such thing in the whole of creation. Therefore, it's highly unlikely that anything that created us is completely perfect. Also, beware of those that claim that all is love. You live a life, you know that that is not true. What we live in a dualistic world of positive and negative. That's not, you can call it good and bad, that's a judgment, positive and negative. And actually the most beneficial place to be is roughly in balance, in harmony, in between those two. So also be wary of people that claim that all is love, all is light. All is light is a different thing. It's arguable from the science that we have that everything is a vibrating energy, and therefore, depending on how you define light and define energy, you can make the argument that all is light. Also, we now know that if you smash light particles together with a high enough velocity, it does create matter. We haven't been able to show how that matter is stabilized yet, but we do at least know that that happens. So the argument that all is light is quite interesting. But one thing I think is true. There is only perfect imperfection in this world. There is no such thing as a perfect God, perfect love, perfect anything. So don't decide that you should be perfect either. None of us are. The best we can do is try and understand our imperfections and iron them out a bit. Anyway, just a few thoughts from a man who doesn't know how to stop thinking. Bye.